Welcome to the Dugout. I'm your host, Joseph Silva, and on today's episode, with 1 week till the trade deadline, we're going to go ahead and play general manager with 6 teams on the fringe of wild card contention, and I tell you whether they should buy or sell going into a very important trade deadline this year. But before we get started, if you're enjoying the content, as always, go ahead and leave a like. Subscribe to Playbook Sports. With the Olympics rolling around, I definitely wouldn't want to miss the boys at Ball talking about the big team for the U.S. Now, we start today with a team I don't like but are right there on the fringe of contention, and that is the San Francisco Giants. They sit 3.5 games out of that final NL wildcard. And offensively, they're rolling with the lineup of Patrick Bailey with his 125 OPS plus at catcher. First base is a platoon between Wilmer Flores and his 72 OPS plus, and late night Lamont Wade Jr. with a 150 OPS plus. Tyro Estrada mans second with a 77 OPS plus. At third base, you have new signing Matt Chapman rocking a solid 112 OPS plus. Nick Ahmed is at shortstop with a very not nice 69 OPS plus. The outfield is where this lineup shines, however. Michael Conforto is rocking a 111 OPS plus. Helio Ramos, a star in center field with a 154 OPS plus, and Mike Yastrzemski with a 118 OPS plus in right. And DHing for this team is Jorge Soler. And it is important to note, too, when talking about what roster moves we should be making for this team, that center fielder Jung-Hoo Lee, who they signed to a long-term deal in the offseason, has been out for the year with shoulder surgery. Pitching-wise, the rotation is Logan Webb with a 112 ERA plus, Jordan Hicks with a 103 ERA plus, Kyle Harrison 101 ERA plus, Keaton Wynn a 55 ERA plus, and Blake Snell with a 62 ERA plus. Not a great rotation overall. The farm system is near barren. 23rd ranked farm overall. And their top 10 prospects are left-handed pitcher Carson Weishurst, Bryce Eldridge, a first baseman, the much-hyped Marco Luciano at shortstop, Hayden Birdsong, who's currently dominating, had 12 strikeouts last night in Coors, was their number 4 prospect. Walker Martin, a shortstop, is their number 5 prospect. Rainer Arias, outfielder, is their number 6. Mason Black, the pitcher, is their 7th prospect. Reggie Crawford, another pitcher, is their 8th. Maui Aljonas is another shortstop at number 9. And rounding out the top 10 is Joe Whitman. So you see the vision offensively. They're a very good team. They've always been good at platooning people. Rotation-wise, it is rough, and they need Snell to really step up and live up to that contract. So pitching help is a big need for this team, but the farm system is barren and also a big need. What do? I'm thinking you got to sell if you're the Giants here. You have a lot of interesting pieces on the market here, particularly Michael Conforto is someone who I'd look to sell. This is last year his deal. And it's kind of a cheaper option because, Luis Robert and Taylor Ward have a lot of control and are going to go for higher prices. You can sneak in and sell Conforto at a very low price and get a good prospect return. On top of that, too, Wilmer Flores can be an interesting platoon option. Lamont Wade Jr. is a hero, but he has 2 years on his contract. I'd listen to offers on him, see what you get. Blake Snell is another one you could be trading just for a change of scenery, see what you can get at for him. And the Roger brothers, I know they are very important to this bullpen and really great Giants overall. However, relievers always sell for high prices. You never know what you're going to get for them. They each have a year of control left as well. I would try and sell one of the Rogers brothers and see what you can get back for it. Replenish that farm system because you're kind of in that tough NL West where you know what the Dodgers are, obviously. You know what the Padres are, obviously. And the Diamondbacks went to the World Series and now have a top 10 farm as well. You really have to pick a direction here. And I think you have to build up this farm system and really compete with these teams in the future because you stand no chance both now and in the future. The next team we're looking at is the Kansas City Royals, one of the surprises of the year. Offensively, we know this team pretty well. I cover them a lot, but it's Salvador Perez at catcher with a 124 OPS plus. Vinny Pasquantino with a 99 OPS plus mans first base. Michael Massey has been a surprise at second with his 110 OPS plus. Michael Garcia has not been a surprise at third base with his 74 OPS plus. Bobby Witt Jr. is an MVP candidate, and we know how good he is. 150 OPS plus is just the beginning of his story there. In the outfield, On the IL right now is MJ Melendez, but he has not played like his 2022 self, only a 78 OPS plus. Kyle Isabel has got an 83 OPS plus in center. Hunter Renfroe is right with an 89 OPS plus. And for DH, we really don't know because this lineup is thinner than a sheet of paper. We don't know who's DHing. A lot of the DH guys play the outfield, and as we just saw, it's not a great outfield to begin with. But they shine on the pitching side. Seth Lugo rocks a 174 ERA plus as the ace of the staff. Cole Reagan should not be underestimated either. His 136 ERA plus is good as well. 135 ERA plus for Brady Singer. Michael Walker is rocking a 122 ERA plus. And Alec Marsh is the only man in this rotation with an ERA plus below 100. Bullpen-wise, it's rough. There's only one pitcher in there with an ERA plus above 110. Closer James MacArthur has struggled, to say the least, in leverage situations and has blown tons of key saves. The farm system is the second worst of all in baseball, unfortunately. Their top prospects are as follows. Blake Mitchell, a catcher. Ben Kudman, a right-handed pitcher. Left-handed pitcher Frank Mazzacota. Mason Bennett, another pitcher. Blake Walters, another pitcher. Gavin Cross, an outfielder, is their number 6. Yandel Ricardo, shortstop, will be their number 7 prospect. Tyler Gentry, an outfielder, is their number 8 prospect. Carter Jensen is their number 9 prospect, a catcher. And Chandler Champlin, right-handed pitcher, is their 10th prospect, rounding out the top 10. The Royals are in a very interesting position here. They have tried to build up this farm for a long time. A lot of the top prospects have failed, as you can see here by that 29th farm ranking. But they're so close to that wild card spot in the AL, they can taste it. And it's a very small window, too. Waka is done at the end of the year. Lugo has 2 years left on his contract. And, we don't know how much longer you're getting peak salary. So what are you doing here? You got to sell. It is obvious at this point that offensively you can't find anybody. If I go through all your hitters and write question marks like the mystery Laffy Taffy, that is not a good sign for the spot in your lineup where you're supposed to get the most offensive production here. You gotta sell. You gotta push the window back maybe 1 or 2 years, right when Witt's hitting his prime, right when all your pitchers are hitting their prime. Really go for it in a year or two. That means you gotta sell Michael Waka. He's a free agent at the end of the year. As you see, his 122 ERA plus is going to be a huge need, as a lot of teams need rotation depth this fall. On top of that, too, Hunter Renfroe, 1 year left on his deal. Just undercut the big 2 in the outfield market. Just take a chance, get a prospect. You never know who it could be. Tatis was traded for James Shields. O'Neal Cruz were traded for Tony Watson. Yordan Alvarez was traded for Josh Fields. A lot of it is just guesswork at the end of the day. You can get great prospects too. And I would listen on Seth Lugo. You already have your top 2 in Reagans and Singer. Just listen on Lugo. I know you're kind of screwed with them. A lot of teams putting in the Godfather offers for Crochet and Scooble. But, ask for a little less than that. He's been phenomenal this year. Ask for less, take less. Don't get a Juan Soto haul, but still get a good haul nonetheless. For our next team, it'll be our second team in the National League. It's the New York Mets. They currently occupy the second wildcard spot in that league, and offensively, they are led by catcher Francisco Alvarez, who has lived up to the hype once again. 139 OPS plus on the season. It may be a down year for first baseman Pete Alonso, but a 120 OPS plus being a down year is still a fantastic season. Regardless, Jeff McNeil has struggled. The second baseman only has a 79 OPS plus for the team. At third base, Mark Vientos with a 152 OPS plus has been a nice surprise for the team. Francisco Lindor, the biggest all-star snub of the year at short, has been fantastic. Great defense and a 125 OPS plus always plays. In the outfield, Brandon Nimmo continues to show why he's one of the most underrated players in the league. That starting left fielder has a 134 OPS plus. Harrison Bader has been a nice surprise in center with his 107 OPS plus. And unfortunately, the injured Starling Marte is down for the team, which is unfortunate because his 114 OPS plus has been really pleasant for them in right. And JD Martinez is doing JD Martinez things. A 120 OPS plus as their DH is fantastic. Pitching-wise, it has been rough to say the least. The Kodai Senga injury has really hampered this rotation. And, Luis Severino, 103 ERA plus, not great. Jose Quintana, 94 ERA plus, not great. Sean Manaea, 104 ERA plus, not great. David Peterson has been a nice surprise with his 127 ERA plus. And Christian Scott, 90 ERA plus, again, not great. Bullpen is struggling too. It's not just Edwin Diaz and his Timmy Trumpets. Everybody from Ottavino down has been rough in this bullpen. And it's a unit that they really have to fix because offensively they are great. Pitching-wise, they are not great. Their farm system is the 16th ranked in baseball, and their top prospects are as follows. Shortstop outfielder Jet Williams is their number one prospect in the system, followed by number 2 Christian Scott, a pitcher. Drew Gilbert, outfielder, is their number 3. Ryan Clifford, an outfield first base hybrid, will be their number 4 prospect. Luis Angel Acuna, yes, Ronald Acuna's little brother, shortstop, second base, outfield, plays mostly everywhere, will be their number 5 prospect. Brandon Sproat, right-handed pitcher, will be their number 6 prospect. Ronnie Mauricio, shortstop, second base, outfield, much like Acuna, is their number 7 prospect. Colin Houck, shortstop, will be their number 8. Marco Vargas plays every position in the infield, will be their number 9 prospect. And Kevin Pareda, catcher, is their number 10 prospect. And, they need a lot of pitching, but infamously, they told Max Scherzer they're looking to compete 2025, 2026 at the earliest. Really build up that Dodgers-Orioles model, which means you got to sell. You cannot estimate the 16th ranked farm to try and hold on to a wild card spot in an uber-competitive National League. And that starts with hometown hero, the polar bear, Pete Alonso. You can get a nice return from him. A lot of teams, particularly, your Houstons, another team we're going to talk about very shortly, Texas, even if they want to buy, they're not, but I still have to plug that regardless. They need first base help. He is far and away the best first baseman on the market because you're doing a lot of projections with Vladdy, and he's going to be a lot cheaper than Vladdy. You can get a good return for him. JD Martinez, a lot of teams need DH help as well. Can get a nice return for him. They're both free agents at the end of the year. And then 2, I'm sure some teams are willing to take a flyer on Severino and Quintana. Again, common theme here with the Mets. They're all free agents at the end of the year. This core is not good enough for a 1-year, fuck it, let's see where we go type contention here. They really just need to build up that farm, really make 2025 at the earliest, but really it's 2026, the year baseball comes back to Queens. Now, speaking of a team that needs first baseman and a potential Pete Alonso destination if he gets traded, the Boston Red Sox. Offensively, they're led by a catcher in tandem of Connor Wong and Reese McGuire. Wong, far and away, is the better offensive catcher with a 122 OPS plus. Reese McGuire struggling with a 66 OPS plus. First base has been a rotating door of dudes since the Tristan Casas injury. Dominic Smith has taken a lot of the at-bats there with a 91 OPS plus. David Hamilton has been okay at second base with his 102 OPS plus. Rafael Devers, you know who he is, 163 OPS plus, tearing the cover off the baseball as is expected of him. Ceddanne Rafaela, with his 88 OPS plus, is the primary shortstop. Very bad defensively, one of those guys you're looking to move into the outfield where he's a lot better, so that's something we will look at for Boston. In left field, Tyler O'Neill has been a pleasant surprise with a 132 OPS plus. Center fielder Jarren Duran, All-Star Game MVP Jarren Duran, with his 127 OPS plus has been phenomenal. One of the better surprises of the year. And Willier Abreu with his 116 OPS plus rounds out a very underrated outfield in Boston. And your DH is Masataka Yoshida with the 92 OPS plus. Been very disappointing in his 2 years in Boston. Pitching-wise, this is where this team makes their money. We know how good Tanner Houck is. His 168 ERA plus is still phenomenal, even after a couple bad starts since I said he was the first half Cy Young. Cutter Crawford's right behind him with a 141 ERA plus, another good season from him. Brian Bayo has struggled with his 80 ERA plus. Nick Pivetta is finally putting it all together with his 110 ERA plus. And Cooper Quiswell's 95 ERA plus is not great, but is good for eating innings. The bullpen, do not let that series in Los Angeles fool you. They have been excellent last year, or this year. Yes, Kenley Jansen has been blown up by the Dodgers. Brian Bernardino has been blown up as well. But overall, don't let one series fool you. They're a great unit. They probably don't need a lot of help there. And their farm system, just outside the top 10 at number 11, is as follows. Top prospect for them will be Marcelo Meyer, a shortstop. Number 2 is Roman Anthony, an outfielder. Kyle Teal, catcher, will be their number 3 prospect. Miguel Bailey is an outfielder for their number 4 prospect. Winkelman Gonzalez, right-handed pitcher, is their number 5 prospect. Nick York, second baseman, will be their number 6. Yoin Cespedes, shortstop, is their number 7. Just ahead of another shortstop, Nazan Zantello. I am so sorry for that pronunciation. 9th will be right-handed pitcher Luis Parias. And Richard Fitz, another right-handed pitcher, will be their last prospect in the top 10. Now, this is a team that has to buy. They are fed up in Boston with ownership and how this team is being run. They are the fucking Red Sox. They should not be playing baseball and running their operations like the Tampa Bay Rays. They need to go on all in and push, and this is the deadline to do it here. So, I mentioned if the Mets are going to sell, this is a Pete Alonso destination. Casas looks to get back by the end of the year, but it's not a 100% guarantee. Even if he does come back, Yoshida has not been great as a DH. Just Casas at first, Alonso as your DH. That offense gets a lot deadlier if you do that. And then, if not, look at Diamondbacks, see if they're willing to sell you a Christian Walker too. Just get any first baseman in there because Dominic Smith has not been great. You cannot rely on a cavalcade of dudes to fill in at-bats. You need a fucking first baseman that can mash in Fenway. And then, rotation depth is something every team needs. You don't need to buy the big, sexy names. Look at maybe a Jack Flaherty as a rental. See if he can add a little depth to that rotation. Maybe an Eric Fetty from Chicago. And then, just get another piece for the bullpen. You can always use a little bit more bullpen help. Kirby Yates is one that stands out for me as someone you can buy. And a weird one that never gets dealt at the deadline that often, but he's a free agent at the end of the year. Just go get Elias Diaz from Colorado. If Reese McGuire is taking this many at-bats for your team, it's not looking great. And if you really want a catcher tandem like they're doing with Connor Wong, get Diaz in. Yes, you're worried about that Coors effect, but he's very good defensively, a lot better than Wong, in fact. So he's at least providing a different look than McGuire. And that's what these Red Sox need as buyers. Now we're looking at the St. Louis Cardinals, the surprise team in the National League. They're rocking offensively with former best catcher in baseball, Wilson Contreras, and his 158 OPS plus. First base is manned by Paul Goldschmidt, who is having another down year with his 87 OPS plus. Nolan Gorman, 93 OPS plus, is the primary second baseman. Another Nolan Arenado is having another down year, just an average 99 OPS plus at third. Shortstop Mason Wynn completes the infield with his 108 OPS plus. The outfield is okay. Brendan Donovan, 113 OPS plus, is your primary left fielder. Michael Ciani, very bad offensively in center with a 60 OPS plus. And Japanese legend Lars Nootbaar is a perfectly average 100 OPS plus in right field. But DH Alec Burleson picks up a lot of the stat slack for this offense with his 126 OPS plus. Pitching-wise, it's been an okay rotation to say the least. Miles Michaelis, 82 ERA plus, not great. Kyle Gibson, just a touch above average with his 101 ERA plus, 125 ERA plus for Sonny Gray has been surprising for this team. Lance Lynn's 95 ERA plus, okay. And Andrew Payenta's 100 ERA plus is okay. But where this team makes its money is its phenomenal bullpen. Every dude in there is lethal to say the least, and it's what's really keeping this team afloat. The farm is barren though, as 22nd ranked overall. Their top prospects are Tim Hentz, a right-handed pitcher, Quinn Matthews, left-handed pitcher, Victor Scott, out the second, is their number 3 prospect. He's an outfielder. Thomas Sagan-Geese, infielder, will be their number 4 prospect. Teoka Robbie, right-handed pitcher, will be their number 5 prospect. Chase Davis, outfielder, is their number 6 prospect. Number 7 prospect, Cooper Herpy, left-handed pitcher, is their number 7 prospect. Leandro Bernal's catcher is their number 8 prospect. Gordon Grafecco, who's currently in the major leagues, right-handed pitcher, is their number 9 prospect. And Juan Bin Cho, outfielder, will round out the top 10 for this team. And not going to sugarcoat it, this Cardinals team is rocking on that St. Louis Cardinals devil magic. And the devil magic has worked before. It won them a World Series in 2011, but the Devil Magic has not been strong in the past few years, to say the least. And they are great identifiers of talent. They're not great developers of talent, but they're good identifiers of talent. And, really get some talent into this farm system. You don't have a lot to sell. I don't think a lot of teams are going to buy Goldschmidt if he's going to be on the market. But as a buy low bounce back candidate, just get some dude in there. Kyle Gibson is another one of those you can sell to teams that need pitching help. A lot of teams need pitching help. And that bullpen's fantastic. They're all under contract for a good while, except for one name. And that's Andrew Kittredge, who should be, if he's available, one of the best bullpen arms on the market. And as we can see, bullpen arms can sell quite high, especially in desolate markets. And he's not as good as Scott and Yates, but he should still fetch a nice return in what I believe to be a very thin reliever market. Now, for our final team we talk about today, it's going to be the Seattle Mariners, 54% chance of blowing the division as they blew their 10-game lead in a month, as they are now tied with the Houston Astros atop the American League West. Offensively, it has been a cavalcade of shit. As you'll see in a second, Cal Raleigh, 109 OPS plus, has been one of the only decent hitters in this lineup. First base used to be Ty France, but he was DFA'd last night. He is currently on waivers for any team to pick up. I don't think any team's going to get him. Tyler Locklear will fill in at first base. He has a 95 OPS plus and 35 at-bats, and he is their number 6th ranked prospect, so let's see if he can add something to this lineup here. Jorge Polanco at second base, 68 OPS plus, not great. Josh Rojas, 99 OPS plus, not great. JP Crawford, 99 OPS plus, not great. Luke Raley, 104 OPS plus. Oh my god, a hitter that can actually hit in this lineup. Julio Rodriguez, massively disappointing with a 101 OPS plus. And then he injures his ankle yesterday too. Not great. In right field, Mitch Haniger, 80 OPS plus. Again, not great. And their DH is Mitch Garver with an 87 OPS plus. I'm not going to say it again. You guys know what it is. This is a putrid lineup. The only reason they're in playoff contention is this pitching staff. The big three, aside from Luis Castillo, have delivered. The big three, of course, being Logan Gilbert and his 1.34 ERA plus, Luis Castillo and his 1.06 ERA plus, George Kirby is 1.14 ERA plus, Bryce Miller just hanging in there. He's the worst on the staff, but a 1.03 ERA plus in your rotation being the worst. That's a pretty damn good rotation. And arguably the best man in this rotation, Brian Wu and his 1.54 ERA plus. Phenomenal. Bullpen, I think needs an arm or two, but they're going to get Matt Brash back at some point. It's a phenomenal bullpen. You know how this team makes its money. It's its pitching staff. The farm system, not very good. 21st ranked overall. Their top prospect is Cole Young, middle infield prospect, followed by catcher Harry Ford. Their number 3 prospect is Colt Emerson, another middle infield prospect. At number 4, you have Lazaro Montas, an outfielder. Number 5 will be Fenlin Celestine, shortstop. We already talked about Tyler Locklear. He has been promoted to the major leagues to fill Ty France's spot, which means number 7 will be Jordan Farmello, an outfielder. Ty Pete, shortstop, is their number 8 prospect. Michael Arroyo, infielder, will be their number 9 prospect. And Jordan Clase, outfielder, rounds out the top 10. So what are you doing if you're Seattle? You have to keep going here. It's very thin, and you're right in the mix of it for not only the division, but an American League wildcard spot as well. So you have to buy it. I understand the farm system's not great, but you have to do something to inspire this team because this offense is pathetic. There are no words to describe how bad this offense is. I say famously, they traded Eugenio Suarez to the Diamondbacks because they were tired of striking out. They wanted to make more contact, and Suarez didn't really fit that new vision. Well, now they're striking out more, making less contact, and have a Mendoza line-esque batting average. It has been rough to say the least, so they need bats in this offense badly. So, any bat can do. JD Martinez to DH, Miguel Andujar as a platoon option. Check in at the Cubs, get Patrick Wisdom, somebody. And then, just get Shelby Miller for the bullpen. Just shore it up, really make your strength an even bigger strength, because if you can't score, you better be damn sure the other teams don't score. I'm talking 1-0, 2-1, 3-1 wins if your offense is going to be this bad, because we cannot let Houston win the division again. I'm over this team, and I'm going to lose faith in you, Seattle, if you don't do something at this deadline. But let me know in the comments down below. Am I wrong about all these teams? Are you sick of Houston winning the division? And again, as always, if you enjoy the content, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to Playbook Sports, and on the way out, don't forget, play ball.